Welcome to Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. I'm Rob Wilson.
And I am Tony the Quano.
So, Tony, let's finish this year's Oscar series.
I think it's time.
So this year, we decided to go with the acting categories. We started with Best Actress with Reese Witherspoon in Walk the Line. And then we went to Best Supporting Actor, and we talked about Jack Palance in City Slickers. Then we talked about the Best Supporting Actress, Mercedes Ruehl, and we talked about The Fisher King. And finally, we talked about the Best Actor, Jeff Bridges, in Crazy Heart.
Yeah, it was a nice little run.
Let's finish off this year's Oscar series with this year's winner for Best Supporting Actor, Sean Penn.
Sean Penn winning his third acting Oscar.
Mm-hmm. And the movie...
Joining a rare club of men.
Yes.
To have won 3 acting Oscars.
Yes.
He had one previously for Milk and for Mystic River.
And now he has one for One Battle After Another.
And, we already did Sinners because Michael B. Jordan had won for Best Actor there. Mm-hmm. And Amy Madigan won for Weapons. And we already have covered Weapons. Mm-hmm. So we had to choose between One Battle After Another or Hamnet with Jessie Buckley winning Best Actress. It just so happens also that One Battle After Another, was the big winner of the night, winning Best Picture, Best Screenplay, Best Director. And so it feels kind of appropriate that this is the one we're going into.
It was kind of the obvious choice.
Yes.
For us to cover.
Nothing against Jessie Buckley or Hamnet necessarily. But yeah, it kind of felt obvious as the big winner. And it was obviously one of the most talked about movies last year, as was Sinners and as was Weapons and K-pop Demon Hunters. But yeah, so it's Paul Thomas Anderson, also starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro. Both of them were also nominated.
Yes. Also had Teyana Taylor, Regina Hall.
Regina Hall, yes. Who knew that Scary Movie actress would be in
right?
Best Picture?
And it was, of course, the introduction of Chase Infinity.
Yes. We also have actually one person we did last week with Falling Down with D.W. Moffat.
Yes.
I was not expecting that.
I wasn't either.
Considering that, I don't think he has had, isn't it that extensive of a filmography? Most of his work's in TV. We also have from a movie we did earlier this year, Ghost, Tony Goldwyn.
Yes. He did have a small part in this movie.
Gina Malone has a very small part in this as well. Alana Haim.
Yes.
And then a face I was not expecting to see. One of my favorite faces from Lost. Kevin Tighe.
Kevin Tighe's in this.
Yes. Again, small role, but yeah, he's in this. But yeah, Sean Penn did take supporting actor, beating his fellow castmate Benicio del Toro. And I have to admit, I would prefer to have seen Benicio del Toro win.
I would have too. And not that Sean Penn did a bad job at all. He was great in his role, and he did a great job with it. But I think so Sean Penn was in the majority of the movie. Benicio del Toro was not in nearly as much of it. And so given his screen time, I think he did more with his role with the amount of time that he had in it.
I would agree.
Sean Penn did.
I was not a fan of Sean Penn in this.
Yeah, I
did not like his acting style. I thought I thought it fit
the character.
It definitely fit the character.
I did not like the character. So, he's
not supposed to be a likable character, but that doesn't mean there's unlikable characters that you like because there's such a good character for the movie.
An unlikable character, just flat out.
It's really such a weird character. The movie itself, it's hard to put a finger on because, I think it's definitely meant to be over the top and kind of satirical. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there's also big drama happening in it, and it's an action-oriented movie. But everything that happens with his character is just really weird and odd and over the top, and it's hard to put a finger on it for me.
Yeah,
I'm a big Paul Thomas Anderson fan overall. Magnolia is one of my favorite movies, and There Will Be Blood was fine. I think a lot of people call that a masterpiece also with Daniel Day-Lewis, right? But yeah, his character, anything around this character, it was just hard for me to buy into. And it's one of the reasons why I was I don't hate this movie or dislike it, but I can't say I was a huge fan of it.
Yeah, so I'm the same way. I liked the movie for what it is. I thought it was good. I don't know that it was Oscar worthy, but I thought it was good.
Yes.
And back to Sean Penn real quick. I thought he put on a good performance for the role he was playing. Right. I thought he did really well for that role. I didn't like the role. But still, I think Benicio del Toro was more deserving of the Oscar than he was.
His character was probably one of my favorite characters in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But Benicio del Toro is a great actor.
Yeah.
And he does a really good job with it. I thought Chase Infinity was really good.
Yeah.
It was a nice first role for her.
Yeah. DiCaprio was good.
And I really like DiCaprio. Like, DiCaprio is interesting, right? He's gotten to the point in his career that, especially with kind of some younger cinephiles, like, they kind of elevate him to this high pedestal. And I can't put him there because I remember the 90s.
I remember him in Growing Pains.
And he's evolved.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, peak DiCaprio for me is really going back to more like The Departed and Shutter Island.
And Blood Diamond.
The Blood Diamond.
Blood Diamond is the movie that changed my mind about DiCaprio.
Yeah. I mean, like, even earlier than that, when he was starting to get a little bit more acclaim for movies like Catch Me If You Can, The Aviator, and The Departed, right? Who's the other one that was in there? Oh, Gangs of New York was what I meant to say, not The Departed. Gangs of New York. I still wasn't quite there with him. But yeah, it was that time with Departed and Blood Diamond that started changing it for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then even like recently, I can't say I've disliked him in roles, but
no.
I thought like he won for The Revenant, but that's not his best role.
Yeah. And
he did a great job getting mauled by a bear. I give him that.
Yeah. And I was going to mention that too, going back to Paul Thomas Anderson. DiCaprio won for The Revenant, which seemed like it was more of, hey, this guy's been around for a long time.
Yes.
It's about time we give him an Oscar. People have been, making memes about him never winning an Oscar. So The Revenant seemed like it was, that year, it sort of just seemed like they were just giving it to him to say, okay, look, now you have one. So finally.
Which, if they'd waited a few years, they could have given it to him for The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes, they could have. And I mean, they still could have, even if they, even with giving him one for The Revenant. And
that's right.
It seemed, this year seemed kind of the same with Paul Thomas Anderson to me.
Yeah.
I agree. Because he had been
it happens a lot with Oscars.
Nominated, 14, 15 times?
Yeah, between like Best Picture and Screenplay.
Never won until this year.
Director.
So it just it felt to me like they were doing the same kind of thing they did with DiCaprio with The Revenant.
Yeah, so he won. He was nominated for Best Original Screenplay for Boogie Nights and Magnolia. Best Picture and Best Director on There Will Be Blood. Best Screenplay on There Will Be Blood. Best Screenplay on The Inherent Vice. Best Picture and Best Director on Phantom Thread. Picture, Director, and Original Screenplay on Licorice Pizza. And then finally, all three of those again here. And he won all three.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so that's just, that's what I felt like they were doing this year.
Yeah.
With them. I mean, because it really, this movie, yes, like we said, it was good, but I don't think it was worthy of an Oscar.
Yeah, I can't call it a great movie. I would have, again, like, he's a great director. There are some, I mean, it is a competently made movie.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's parts of it that are really beautiful, and the execution's great. Like, it won 6 Oscars. So picture, director, supporting actor, screenplay. What are the technical stuff it won? Let's see. Best casting, which is a new category, and editing. Like, I can see I mean, the film editing. I
don't know. See, I
think there's better like score. I can see them going with score maybe or best sound for this movie, right?
Yeah.
But the editing, it's a little long.
It is. They could have. There are so many like establishing shots and just long drawn out shots and stuff that they could have cut down. They could have cut probably a half hour from this movie and it still would have been the same movie.
Right. And, I know we kind of talked about this very briefly, via text, is that, my favorite part of the movie really was like the middle, right? Because it's where you really get the good chunk of the story actually happening.
Yeah, I agree.
Other than that, you kind of do get those establishing shots. And I thought, well, we can touch on it briefly when we start, but like the openings, like this, longish kind of almost montage.
Exactly.
It's
It's like
kind of
this long
confusing.
montage that sort of jumps around in time. And
and I kind of think that's an editing flaw of it. It's like in terms of like how could he sequence this to invest me into this more?
Exactly. Because, I mean, with movies, I'll give it the first 20 minutes. You know? Because, I mean, you want to stay longer than like 5 or 10, So I'd say movie has maybe the first 20 minutes to really get you to stick around.
That's true. Yes.
And I don't know if this movie quite does that. It doesn't really hook you from the beginning.
And, and if you are patient enough to do it, like you are awarded with some great stuff, especially.
Yes, you are.
I think the interactions between DiCaprio and Infinity and DiCaprio and Del Toro.
Yes, I thought those were excellent.
Watching the movie for. So,
I loved Del Toro in this movie.
Yes, he was. I would have had no problem with him winning the Oscar.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either.
He creates a truly memorable character for this movie.
He does. And I think it would have been, I don't know if I would have given it to him or to Delroy Lindo.
Yes.
Because Delroy Lindo was great in Sinners. They were both very memorable characters and just so well done. Both, in my opinion, were better choices than Sean Penn.
Yes.
But back to Sinners, I mean, I think if I were choosing the best picture, of the choices that were given to us, I would have gone with Sinners. Because that one, like we said, this one's a little long, it's drawn out. Sinners, every moment in that movie is important to the movie.
Right.
Everything has a purpose in that movie. In this one, there's a lot of stuff that could have cut out and still had essentially the same movie.
I agree. But we don't get the vote.
No, we don't.
So even if we had a vote, it might not be a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, it could sound like we're being. I don't want to make it sound like we thought this was a bad movie.
Exactly. I don't want it to sound like we're trying to trash this movie. It's it was worth watching. I enjoyed it. It was worth watching. I just don't think it quite lived up to the hype.
I think that's the thing. I mean, there's other movies that we've kind of covered that we probably like around the same level that we probably don't seem as down on, but those ones also that recently won Best Picture.
Yeah.
So there's a difference there.
Yes.
And again, if you did think it was the best movie, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion,
even if it's wrong.
So it's again, I want to see what Paul Thomas Anderson can do again in the future because I largely enjoy his movies.
Yeah, I mean,
because he's a very good director.
Yes,
and he has a lot of really big ideas, and sometimes that in some ways maybe that's almost kind of one of the things that kind of bumped into this is that refining a little bit and narrowing it down a little bit. Could be better.
But no, it was very well directed.
Yes.
Paul Thomas Anderson is an excellent director.
Yes, absolutely. And he got a great cast. And, it looks good. I mean, he did not knock the fault of the cinematography either.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then, just finally back to Sean Penn. Like, it's been a while, too, since it seemed like Sean Penn had, been in a not just in an award contender, but in a notable movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the mid to late 90s up through early 2000s, through Milk, right? He was out there. It was hard to avoid, Sean Penn, and he was one of the most famous actors at that point, and he's kind of gone under the radar, right? And I don't think he didn't even show up to accept his award. So it just kind of shows you kind of how much under the radar he had gone. I'm looking here. The yeah. Oh, the Tree of Life. Yeah, and Gangster Squad. So some stuff in the early 2000s, but I would say he was in Licorice Pizza. But that was a really small role for him in Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Gangster Squad was kind of like probably the last big movie I remember him like having a starring role in. That was the early 2010s. And that was definitely not like an Oscar type movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd been a while since he'd really been in this position. So, but yeah, I don't know if I have much else to say before we dive into this.
I don't think I do either. So let's get into it. So as always, spoiler alert, we are going to be talking about this entire movie, beginning, middle, and end. So if you've not seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, pause the podcast, watch the movie, and come back and listen. If you have seen it or you just don't mind being spoiled, keep on listening. But you have been warned. We are going to be spoiling the crap out of this movie.
Yes, which is only like 6 months old.
Yeah.
So
there's still a chance that people haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and they've done a good job of avoiding spoilers, and we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Right now, by telling you that Sean Penn just ends up murdering William Shatner in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was a surprise. I did not expect Shatner to show up in this movie.
Yeah, I had no idea he was going to show up. He shows up and you're like, "Whoa, that's William Shatner."
Yeah.
And Sean Penn just decapitates him.
Yeah.
Highlander style.
Yeah, with a Slim Jim.
Yeah, that was woof. Didn't see that one coming.
Walking out of a convenience store, just bought a Slim Jim. Shatner shows up. Boom. Head's gone.
Head's gone. Clean off.
Scotty won't be beaming him up.
Anyway, no. No large spoilers like that.
No.
So, but like, as we kind of talked about earlier, the movie well, at first it's not quite like a montage. It kind of becomes one.
It sort of becomes a montage.
It's almost this first part's almost kind of done in a pseudo like documentary type style.
Yeah.
Kind of just the way like kind of like a almost like a handheld camera as it kind of follows different characters, and they're observing this detention, this like ICE detention center essentially, and they're kind of scoping it out. And the movie, what I think is interesting about this, right, is that this is going to take place over 2 different time periods.
Yeah.
It never really establishes when. Like, doesn't really establish.
We know that the main time in this movie is somewhere around nowadays.
Yes.
But we don't
maybe a few years into the future.
Yeah, we don't have a specific year. But, I mean, just judging by the cars.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly. But, there's
no flying DeLoreans in this one.
No, there's nothing like that. There's no George Jetson jets. Nothing like that. But, but when they throw you into it, maybe because everything in, the current news cycle is very similar with, detention centers and, immigration. You almost feel like it's actually taking place today.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's a little bit back, maybe it is 15, 16 years ago. Maybe it's 10 years, and the main thrust of it is 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really establish, and that's okay.
Yeah. Sorry, it doesn't need to be established, really. All we know is this beginning montage of the movie takes place at least 16 years before the rest of the movie.
Yeah, well, actually, at least, yes. Because it's never quite clear on the entire timeline or sequencing of the events that we kind of see in this first, 20 to 30 minutes. It seems like
this first 20 to 30 minutes takes place over the course of a few years.
Yes. Right?
But basically...
Because
Yeah, go ahead.
Pretty clear that we're being thrown into this group of, you know, this resistance cell, how the government would view them as a terrorist cell, right? They're similar to like the Weather Underground from the 60s and 70s.
They call themselves revolutionaries.
Yes.
But yeah.
And but the thing is,
they're basically guerrilla soldiers.
Yes. And as we go on, we can see like it's not just about, okay, let's raid these detention centers and free these, people are being detained. I mean, we see them robbing banks and all to help fund what they do.
Yeah.
Right. They are breaking other laws. They're blowing up other buildings and doing things that would definitely be illegal and hard to argue for that they're doing the most good.
Yeah, and they use names like Jungle Pussy.
Right. Which makes it sound like this takes place in the 70s.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the funny thing about this movie. Like there are some absurdist parts of this movie and some super realistic parts of this movie, right? There's there's elements of this group that feels like it's straight out of a blaxploitation flick from the 70s or a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And especially when it comes to some of the two main kind of different cells and groups that there's two different kind of extremist groups that we can kind of get into, and it puts both over the top. Right? We'll discover another one that's really modeled kind of off these far right kind of Christian groups also, but we don't really encounter that until much later.
Yeah.
And they almost seem like they are modeled after kind of like an 80s perception of Christian mass hysteria groups. But anyway. But yeah, they're like a guerrilla cell, right? And
basically start out they're attacking a detention center on the near the border.
Yep.
And liberating the detainees there and locking up the agents.
When we're first introduced to Leonardo DiCaprio's character, he doesn't really say here. We don't. He's in the middle of a job, so we don't get him with a lot of lines. Right? Everyone's kind of focused on what they're supposed to be doing.
But we are quickly introduced to him as the Rocket Man, as they call him.
They call him the Rocket Man.
He's the explosive expert
guy. But his name's actually Bob Ferguson.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's the Rocket Man. His name's Bob.
Yep.
Hey, there's another Robert.
Look at that.
We had the Robert Duvall last week, and now we have a Bob Ferguson this week.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Next week we'll have a Bert.
Robert's just a great name. But anyway, so they go in and they have their first run-in with Colonel Lockjaw.
Again, what a name, Lockjaw.
Colonel Stephen Lockjaw. So,
right. And who encounters him, right, is Perfidy Beverly Hills.
Yes, Perfidy. Yes,
played by Tiana Taylor.
Beverly Hills, played by Tiana Taylor,
who is also the love interest of Bob.
Yes, of Leonardo.
They are. It doesn't really say if they're actually married, but they are a part. They're a partnership.
They're a partnership. Yeah, they are a couple.
Right. And she's going around the facility, and she encounters Lockjaw, like in his office.
And Lockjaw, of course, is played by Sean Penn.
Yes. And this is a really unusual encounter that they have.
Yes, it is. So he's just chilling in his trailer.
Yeah, he's just sitting down, chilling.
And she busts in the door with a gun and holds him at gunpoint.
And you would almost half expect her just to kill him right there.
But nope. There's something about this one. There's something about Lockjaw.
She saw I Am Sam.
And she is the only person who loved it.
Because I am pretty sure I Am Sam happened before this movie took place.
Yep. Yep.
It's her favorite movie. You know, like the Revolutionaries, the Rebels, and Tropic Thunder. On Simple Jack.
Yeah. She loves I Am Sam.
And Pretty Beverly Hills loves I Am Sam.
So I wonder what her real name is, because it can't be Perfidia Beverly Hills, because I doubt her parents' last name is Beverly Hills.
No.
Now, her name might be Perfidia.
Yeah.
But I doubt her last name is actually Beverly Hills.
Yeah, no, they never actually give us the name. Like we get Bob's name, right? He's Rocket Man, but we also get his name, right? Because they all have these nicknames,
Bob
these code
Ferguson.
names, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so she sees Lockjaw, and
they're talking back and forth.
Yeah, they talk,
and then he pitches a tent.
It's so weird how this happens.
Yeah. He just, fully clothed.
Weird. The angle, he's like gets a.
The camera.
He's like kind of laying down, chilling
up at him, like he's kind of like reclined back.
He's
a little
reclined,
bit.
Yes.
And he's sitting there, and his legs are apart. He's wearing clothes. He's wearing pants. He's all this, but
yes.
The camera's like even with his thighs. And we see something pop up. It's actually a rather disturbing angle.
Is that Dakota Fanning in your pocket? Are you just happy to see me?
Sorry, but the I Am Sam references probably are not going to stop.
Well,
hey, Quagmire, is that a banana in your pocket or an erection in your pocket?
Sorry, part of the reason it just fits is because I partially think that his character in this movie is retarded.
He definitely does act that way.
So I can't lose it.
I mean, it's possible that Sam changed his name.
And so anyway, so they're stuck there together, in his office,
and she gets him up and stands him up.
And there's no tea party yet.
No, but she gets him to go out the door, and he walks out there still full mast.
Yeah.
And takes him over and, locks him up in the, behind the fence as the rest of the group leaves.
As they leave, and they get the people out and such. And so,
But this has now started a new obsession with Lockjaw.
Yes. You could say that even though he might be a virulent racist,
it has awakened something in him.
So there's maybe some fever.
Yeah. Yep.
But we kind of continue with this montage of the group doing
these different strikes. They're doing these different strikes, and then we keep on getting, DiCaprio and Tiana Taylor, taking a break from everything and going and, having some alone time in the car, or having a tea party in different places.
Right. But we also get Lockjaw, and he is obsessed. right? And we finally get to the point where
it gets to the point where, Perfidia and Lockjaw are sort of staying in contact with each other.
Yes.
She's kind of taunting him, and he's just obsessed with her.
He's obsessed. And the more she taunts him, the more he's like, he gets, right? And it finally gets to the point where they get to encounter each other again in a situation where, like, you know, they are planning another act.
Mm-hmm. Was this the bank robbery?
This is before the bank robbery,
okay,
I think.
Yeah.
Because the bank robbery kind of like is the catalyst to everything
that's
else.
Right.
This is, I think she's planning a bomb somewhere.
Yes, that's right. She's planning a bomb somewhere. She's in the bathroom and she's planning the bomb in the vent. It's in the bathroom,
that's right. And he comes into the stall and it's just like Seabass.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber.
Well, I was thinking more like the beginning of Goldeneye.
Okay, is that?
Because she puts it in the vent right above the toilet.
Mm.
And while she's standing on the toilet putting the bomb up there, Lockjaw shows up and opens up the stall door. And she's right there.
And they play battle shits.
Yes, they play battle shits. He goes to the stall next to her.
She's like, "You sunk my destroyer."
Oh, damn it. You sunk my battle shit. But no,
down the stall next to Lockjaw, like, what is going on here?
But no, she knows that she was just caught red-handed because he caught her while she was putting the bomb in the vent. So there's no denying that. And so she goes up to try to get it, and she's like, "No, leave it there. Don't worry about it." And he leads her outside.
Yep.
And tells her to meet him at a certain place at a certain time. Otherwise, her whole team is dead, basically.
He has that power apparently, and so
so he lets her go with the promise that she'll meet him at this place at this certain time later that night. And he tells her to bring the gun.
Yep.
Yeah, so she meets him at this hotel room later that night, and she's got the gun, and they have an interesting encounter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then soon after, it's discovered that she's preggers.
Yeah, they have a they have this. I don't know if it's quite a tea party. It seems more than a tea party.
Right. Yes.
It's like a banquet.
Right, because it's not the emotional catharsis.
No, it's different than the Pulp Fiction tea party. Or is it really? A little bit more consensual than the Pulp Fiction tea party.
I mean, there's definitely no gimp.
How do you know there could be one? But anyway, then after that, then we get another shot of them blowing something else up, and they're running, and and Perfidia tells Bob that she's like, "Do me in the bushes," and so they go, and they have a tea party in the bushes.
They have a lot of tea parties in the early part of this movie.
Yes,
but it's important that this other banquet, so to speak, like you said, happens because we find out she's pregnant.
But we don't find out she's pregnant until after the bank, do we?
No, because she gets arrested, and then that's it. She has to turn everybody in.
Except the bank happens because she's in the bank. Because they rob a bank.
Oh, no, that's right. No, you're right. They rob it. She doesn't get arrested right away.
No,
she
Jungle Pussy Jungle Pussy comes out, and she's, telling everybody, we don't want you. We just want your money. And, they're all wearing masks, and she takes her mask off. She's like, see this? This is power. I'm not afraid. This is power. Look at my face.
This is such a different bank robbery than like Heat.
Yeah, Heat or Point Break.
Or Dark Knight.
Yeah. But yeah, so
anyway.
One of the security guards
course of this, there is this security guard. Like, while Jungle Pussy is talking, we hear this gunshot.
And then the security guard is laying on the ground, and we see Perfidia. She's telling the guy, don't move. And he's still crawling toward her. So then we hear another gunshot, and she just shot him dead. And so this shocks
all of them.
Yeah, this shocks all of them, and they just run. So, sorry, Jungle Pussy, but what happened to the power? If this is the power, then why are you running?
Nope, not going to go there.
No. I know where you're going, but... But yeah. So they get their cars.
Separate chases going on that happen, and but they know who everybody is. So they're gonna be able to track them down shortly, right? But then we find out she's with child.
That Perfidia is pregnant.
She seems to be getting more depressed.
Yeah, and we get that shot from the trailer where she's shooting a machine gun with the big old pregnant belly out,
and she's just going boom, 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 right?
She doesn't seem to be acting like she's pregnant. She's drinking, she's partying, she's
and Bob is kind of going on like about it's just another day. Why are you doing this? Right? As and he's fully
as a concerned father would be.
Yes, right. He doesn't know what's happened with Lockjaw, right? So he doesn't know that this actually might not be his child. But regardless, he would still, even if it wasn't his child, be like, because everybody else around him is like, what's going on? Why are you acting this way? Right? But eventually, she does get caught, right? And she has to give up everybody.
Well, first she gives birth to the baby, and then she is...
Oh, that's right. We get shots.
So she gives birth,
the baby. That's
and
right.
DiCaprio, Bob is, he's taking care of this baby, and she starts getting jealous of the baby.
Yes.
So Perfidia starts thinking that, he loves this baby more than he loves me.
Right.
And
Bob takes to the baby quickly. Like, he has a very quick fatherly instinct to care for this child. And so, like you said, it's this contrast to Beverly Hills.
She decides she's had enough of it, and she leaves. She just ditches Bob and the baby. The baby, Charlene.
That's right.
And Bob has a run-in with... he's at the grocery store buying... is he buying diapers, or is he buying bottle stuff? Just baby stuff.
I think it's diapers.
He's buying baby stuff. Baby stuff in general. Right.
He runs into Nicolas Cage, who has some panties on his head.
Hair flowing in the wind. That's not there. And so when he's at the checkout counter, then Lockjaw comes up behind him and sees all the stuff he's buying.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I forgot about that.
Looks like you're buying stuff for a baby. It's like, yeah, I am. He's like, where's the baby? Why don't you have the baby with you? And he's like, well, baby's being taken care of. Don't worry.
He's like, people are allowed to buy diapers without having the baby with them.
He's like, what's the baby's name? It's like, Charlene. It's like, that sounds like a black baby. You like the black girls?
He's like, I love this.
He's like, I love
Bob's like,
black girls.
And then, I love watching. He's like, I love the black girl.
Yeah, right in the middle of the grocery store.
Yeah, not on at all.
And so Bob leaves, and then Perfidia gets caught. Well, she's out somewhere.
Yeah, and it doesn't really take much for her to decide to give up her friends. Right?
Yeah, because they all ditched her for the baby.
Yeah, exactly. So she turns on them. She's going to go into witness protection, right? But thankfully, Bob is able to, with the help of this guy that's also with the French 75, Howard Somerville.
Oh, yes, we didn't mention their group's name is the French 75.
And Howard Somerville is played by Paul Grimstad. And yeah, he's able to get stolen identities for Bob and Charlene. Bob is not actually his name.
Yeah.
Like, this is the name he takes with the ID. So
he gets
Bob.
Bob Ferguson, and Charlene becomes Willa.
Yes. Right? And, we see a bunch of the others get arrested, right? But before they kind of go into hiding, right? Because she's giving up the main people she works with. This is actually a larger group cell than what we kind of see at first, because they are able to persist over the next 15 to 16 years. They're still around.
Yeah.
Different code words to use if they ever need any help.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They give this to Bob.
And so Somerville also gives Bob. He's saying in one of their missions, he has these two basically sticks. They're not quite walkie-talkies, but they're not.
That's right.
They each play a different tune, and when they're brought within 10 meters of each other, they start playing the same tune. And so that's just how they can tell who is part of their resistance group, like who they can trust. And he tells them, if this music starts playing, you trust that person with your life. But otherwise, don't trust anybody.
So we advance about 16 years. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Bob and Charlene, Charlene's obviously now a teenager.
Well, now she's Willa.
Yeah. And she takes karate with Benicio del Toro.
Mm-hmm. I love his dojo's name.
But we don't see a lot of him at this point in the movie, right? We just see that she takes her karate lessons, right?
Sergio St. Carlos. Wait, yeah. Sergio St. Carlos's Ninja Academy.
That's right. Yes.
But yeah, so she takes martial arts under the tutelage of Benicio del Toro.
Yep.
Sensei Sergio.
And she lives with the dad. Or at least who she thinks is her dad. And basically isn't her dad because he's raising her, right?
And as far as anybody knows,
he's doing the same.
As far as anybody knows, he's her father.
He is doing the single dad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But he's a stone. He's basically a stoner now.
He's sort of retired from all of this stuff. Kind of.
It's never actually said.
At least he seems like
what his job is.
Yeah, and so he does a lot of drugs.
They kind of live off the grid a bit. Mm-hmm. They live in the middle of the woods, and he doesn't let his daughter have his cell phone, and it's not because he's trying to limit screen time necessarily.
No, it's because he knows they can be tracked.
Yeah,
he doesn't want her to be able to be tracked, and yeah, so. He self-medicates.
The town where they live is a sanctuary city also.
Yeah.
Which will be important later. But yeah, they basically live in a small little house that's kind of in the middle of the woods, and they live as off the grid as possible in a larger urban type environment,
mm-hmm.
right? They're not living off like in the middle of the mountains like the Unabomber,
yeah,
right, or other kind of other preppers, but they're largely off the grid. She does go to she goes to a dojo, she goes to a public high school, so it's not she's out there, right? But still trying to be as anonymous as possible.
Yeah, and the school dance is coming up, and she's supposed to go with her friends to the dance. And so they pull up in the car outside, and Bob starts freaking out. You know, he's looking through the curtains, and he's all jumpy, and asking all these questions about who are these people coming up to the house. And
like
they're just my friends, Dad.
They're my friends. It's like, oh, who are they? Like, are can we trust them? Right? You know.
And then he's like, and the one, it's like, I'm just trying to get to know your friends. The one that's got the lipstick, is it a he, a she, a they? And she's like, they're non-binary, Dad. They, them. So okay. I just want to make sure that I'm saying the right thing. I don't want to insult your friends.
He doesn't want to make a scene, right? But at the same time, he's he's got to make sure it's right. It's kind of parallel. Like, okay, can we trust these people in general? Yeah. Right? Are they is one of their parents gonna rat us? Like some federal agent that's on us, and also he's also in kind of a general protective dad type of mode. Also,
then he's like, "Oh, who's this guy coming to the door? Is that your boyfriend?" She's like, "That's Bluto. He's my friend."
Bluto. Is this the 1940s?
I know, right? Is this Animal House? But
he makes sure he threatens Bluto.
Mm-hmm. Bluto knocks on the door, and Bob answers the door, and he goes. He puts his arm around Bluto, and he's like, "If you do anything to my daughter, I will do the exact same thing to every member of your family. Understand?"
Which the funny thing about this is again, if Bluto's looking at him, it's like, dude, you are stoned out of your mind. You ain't hurting anybody, but he has no idea. He's a weapons expert.
Yes. So Bluto's kind of just brushing him off a little bit, but at the same time, he does seem a little bit worried because Bob seems kind of unhinged.
He's a 15-year-old, 16-year-old boy. Come on, yes. Mm-hmm. He should be a little bit scared.
So, Bob insists that Willa take that little music stick with her, and she doesn't want to take it. And he's like, "Put it in your pocket." And she's like, "I don't have pockets. I'm wearing a skirt." And he's like, "Put it in your purse." And so she has to go get her purse so that she can put it in there because he's not going to let her go without it.
Yep.
So she goes with her friends to the dance.
They get off and they have a little conversation before they drive off. And, she doesn't badmouth her dad, like, "Oh, yeah,
She's just like, he's very protective and,
a little paranoid. But, he's fine. He's fine, right? That type of thing. I like that their relationship is not antagonistic.
It's not. Yeah, I like that too.
It's a typical type of thing where
she understands.
Might go a little strong on one way. The kid might roll their eyes.
Yeah, but she understands that he's doing all this for her own good.
Yes. And all she knows, as far as she knows, her mother's dead.
Mm-hmm.
She does not know this entire backstory.
Yeah. Nobody's seen her mother since, shortly after she was born.
Right? So, as this goes on, at this point, Lockjaw has become a colonel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he has been invited to join a very special club.
Yes.
The Christmas Adventurers Club. This is a secret society. Mm-hmm. This sounds like this is out of South Park.
Yes, it does. I was thinking the exact same thing. It's like the club that Chef joined. But
he gets called to this special meeting, and they're talking with him, and they're telling him about this big honor. No, he's like, because he's excited.
This one person died, which means there's an opening. So, they invite him in, and this is where we.
This includes Bill Desmond, John Hugenocker,
Tony Goldwyn.
Roy Moore, Sandy Irvine, right? This is Jim Downey, Kevin Tighe, D.W. Moffat. Yeah. So, but, he is delighted.
Yeah. So they invite him into their secret room. And, they're asking him these questions. Have you ever had, let's see what, they ask a few questions and lead up to, have you ever had interracial relations?
It's like, no.
Which he says no. Which already we know he's lying. And so, they go through the rest of this and, he's not quite accepted into the club yet, but things are looking good for him to be accepted.
Yeah. He's made it through like this initial interview process, right? They have to kind of do a thorough background check before, right? He actually gets the approval, right? But he passed the initial interview.
Yeah.
Right. But he realizes that,
and one of the things that Tony Goldwyn tells him is joining this group, it means you are superior to everyone else. It doesn't mean you're better. It doesn't mean you're stronger. It doesn't mean you're, a higher class than them. It just means you're superior to everybody else.
You're superior. Because we go on Christmas adventures.
We go and help Santa deliver all those presents. No, we don't.
But
they don't. They don't help Santa.
But he, because of this, though.
Although they do worship Santa Claus or Saint Nicholas.
Saint Nicholas, yes.
Like all hail Saint Nicholas.
It's so weird. I don't know.
It's
there are odd aspects of this that, again, like this is balance between like good drama or good character study, and then
you have
so
this.
absurd. And and that's where I wonder, like that balance is one of the other little issues that anyway. So he realizes that if anyone finds out that he potentially, had relations with someone who was African American and he has a mixed race baby.
Yeah. If they find out that he did have relations with, an African American woman, and
he would not be allowed
potentially has
to be a member of the Christmas Adventurers Club.
Yes. And all he wants is to be a member of the Christmas Adventurers Club because he wants to be superior to everybody else.
And so he needs to take care of this. Right? And so he knows of a bounty hunter named Amonte Q, who's part Cherokee, to help track them down. He wants to
find Bob and Charlene. But he doesn't know where to find them because they've been in hiding for the last 16 years.
Yep. The Amonte is played by Eric Schweig. And he does his job. He ends up finding where they are.
Yeah. So
he realize, they realize that this town is
no, he doesn't. It
actually ends up working.
So Avanti, he finds out who they are by finding Somerville. So he tracks Somerville down, and then they take Somerville and they torture him until he gives up the information they want. And so that's how they find out where Bob and Willa are. And so Bob gets a phone call, and the guy on the other line is speaking code. And he hasn't looked at these codes in years. And so he gets the first code or two right, and then, so he knows that they're supposed to be, going to a rendezvous point. But he doesn't know where the rendezvous is. So he keeps asking where the rendezvous is, and the guy keeps asking him, what time is it? And he doesn't remember the response to that code.
That's right. Yes.
And so he keeps on telling me, you know who I am? I'm Bob Ferguson.
I'm Bob
tell
Ferguson.
me where it is. And the guy's like, I can't tell you. Call me back when you figure it out. Call me back when you figure out the answer to this, this message, right? Then
this will become a recurring point is. This will become a recurring little joke through this section of the movie.
Yeah. So just then Bob realizes that Lockjaw and his men are outside, that they're about to breach the house. So he's still in his bathrobe, lounging on his recliner. Right? And so he jumps up and he's running around, and he's got a trap door under his bed that goes down into this tunnel. So he goes down there and he's crawling through the tunnel while Lockjaw.
I like that somehow he does have a tunnel that escapes somewhere.
Yeah. So
it's been built. Anyway.
Yeah. So Lockjaw and his men come in and they're, clearing the house, and they can't find anybody. And they flip over the bed and they see this hole in the ground. And so Lockjaw gets a tear gas grenade and tosses it down there, then puts the plywood back over the hole. And while Bob's crawling through this tunnel, you see this gas start to come after him.
He just starts crawling faster.
And, some of it's coming up to him and getting in his eyes, and he's starting to, tear up and stuff. And finally he gets to the end of the tunnel and he goes up, and he comes up right. The exit of this tunnel was in an outhouse.
Yeah.
A really nasty looking outhouse.
Really nasty looking outhouse. Did he build this? Did the French Chevy 5 build this at some point?
I don't know.
That's where they told him to move to this place. I don't know.
I mean, it's a perfect exit for an escape tunnel because nobody's going to check that. And there's 2 toilets in this outhouse that face each other. It's a Battleshit's outhouse.
I was going to say, it's when Perfidia and Lockjaw played Battleshits. Anyway, so while that's happened, right?
So he gets out. Yeah, he gets out and he's rubbing his eyes, trying to.
Yeah, he would be used to tear gas,
watch
but
this
it's
tear
been
gas
a long
out of his
time.
eyes. And
since he's experienced tear gas.
So he's running. He goes into a gas station and runs into the bathroom and, runs his eyes under the faucet, trying to get as much of this tear gas out of his eyes as he can. Then he comes back out, steals a pair of sunglasses, and walks out. And then goes to the payphone outside. Which, it's somewhere where there's still a payphone.
That's a good point. And he calls back that number up again.
Mm-hmm. And he's trying to get them to give him the coordinates for the rendezvous point. And they won't tell him because all they're asking is what time is it, and he doesn't know the response. Before he left the house, he grabbed his old cell phone.
And he's getting
he grabbed his old cell phone, but the battery's dead. So he's got to keep using these payphones.
Yeah.
Until he can get it charged. And so
he is getting angrier and angrier with this other person on the other side of the line.
He's cussing him out.
This person,
this guy, he's like,
yeah.
Excuse me, sir, you're invading my calm. You're making me feel unsafe.
Which that sounds much more like a young millennial.
Yeah.
Who we find out this ends up being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, young millennial for what the time of this movie probably was.
Yeah.
And I guess it is the current day. So it would be a young millennial, to be honest. Anyway,
yeah.
Oh. Yeah. You're disturbing my calm.
But all the stuff that he's saying, it just riles up Bob even more.
It gets him just more and more upset. Which, I get.
So finally he hangs up and he goes to Sergio St. Carlos's dojo. He goes up and the door's locked, so he's banging on the door, and Benicio del Toro comes out and lets him in and asks him what's going on, and so he's explaining what's going on. And
while this is happening,
he runs into the back room, and he's looking for a weapon, but all he has is nunchucks.
Lockjaw has staged like a raid in this town, right?
Yeah,
and the idea is to get because this town's a sanctuary town, to kind of create a little bit of a riot as a diversion, as he's looking for everybody.
And see this whole sequence coming up here. I love this part of this movie. I love
this
everything with Benicio del Toro. I love in this movie.
I agree,
but
I'm with you.
Yeah, so, Sergio turns off the lights and, tells him, gets him to go with him out the back. And so they go out, they get in his car and drive off. And just then, some of Lockjaw's guys show up at the door. And they're checking the place out. They don't see anybody there. And they knew about that place because in Bob's house, there was a calendar from the dojo.
Yes, that had
the name of the dojo on it.
Yep.
And
really, what they don't even realize
actually
is
April or not, the calendar was flipped to April, and there was a picture of Willa on that. That page of the calendar was Willa doing a sidekick.
Right. I would not be surprised if it was an older month, but he just left it there because it's his daughter.
Yeah.
And he's lazy.
Yeah.
What we don't realize is that Sensei is also he's not part of the French 75, but he is what the calls in his own way, where he is kind of a modern day Harriet Tubman.
Yeah. Yeah. He runs sort of an underground railroad for resistance fighters.
Right.
Revolutionaries.
And so he kind of takes him through these rooms and these corridors that he has, and he's talking to people and giving them the directions about what to do to get out, right?
Yeah, it's basically this big apartment building that he takes him to.
Yes.
He keeps on, Bob keeps on trying to stop and charge his phone.
See, here's the thing.
Sergio keeps on telling him, nope, not here. Come on, keep going.
Here's the thing. I don't know if I really would want to hang with the French 75. I would want to hang with Sensei and his crew.
Yes, me too. He seems fun.
Yes, he does. So, yeah, he keeps having to come through, and he finally they get to this living room area, and he sits down. He's charging his phone. He's able to get back online with this guy again to find the coordinates. But he still can't remember, right? They keep asking him that question. What's the time?
He's like, and Bob repeats it at one point. He's like, I don't know the answer to this question. What time is it? Then Sergio's like, 8:15. Sergio doesn't know what's going on the other side of the phone.
He has no idea. He thought he needs a time. 8:15, right?
But
yeah, and so, but we get to the point where this is becoming almost like this bureaucratic nightmare.
Mm-hmm. So he's like, "Can I talk to your supervisor?" He starts to pull a Karen on him.
And the guy agrees.
Or was it Benicio del Toro? Did he take the phone and tell him put
he does.
Whoever on the line or something? I don't know. Either way, after he's like, "Can I talk to your supervisor?" Then the guy, he hands the phone to the boss. And this is a guy that used to work with Bob. He used to work very closely with Bob, so he knows him.
This guy's a legend.
And you give him whatever information he wants, and you apologize to him. And so, he hands the phone back to the guy, and the guy's like, "Okay, well, the coordinates are, such and such, and by the way, I just want to let you know how deeply sorry I am." Bob is just like, "You're sorry?" And he just starts going off on this guy about how rude he was to him. But no, he has the coordinates now. it's a convent, and we skipped over the stuff that went on at the dance. At one point during Bob's whole, run around with Del Toro, then Willa, who was at the school dance, goes into the bathroom. And
before we get to that, I like how he does, and he's like, fuck you, you fucking moron, fuck you. You right. Obviously don't have fucking kids, you fucking idiot.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I love that.
Anyway,
so
the answer is time doesn't exist yet. It doesn't control. It controls us anyway.
Yes,
that was the answer to what time it is.
What time is it? But time doesn't exist yet.
She goes to the bathroom.
Anyway. Yeah, she's in the bathroom and she is greeted by Deandra, played by Regina Hall.
Right, and
she tells her that she can trust her, that she's there to protect her. Lockjaw's people are on their way. She needs to get her to safety.
Yes.
And at first, Willa doesn't believe her, but she convinces her.
Yes.
Because I think she had one of those little music things too.
She did,
that's what convinces her, because Willa was always told, whoever has this,
and there is a key word that's used that
too.
Bob did remember.
Yes,
and so she uses that to convince her, and they go off. So she leaves the dance
just in time.
What we don't, while this happens, also like they take in her friends or questioning.
Yeah. So as they're leaving the school, and Lockjaw's people show up, and they come in and they stop the dance, and they're going and questioning everybody. And, have you seen Willa Ferguson? And everybody's like, no. And then they find her friends and they take them in.
Right. And they question all of them. Most of them don't know anything. And they're asked, they don't really know a whole lot about her backstory. They know she lives with her dad, that her mom died.
Yeah. And that's all that's
really all they know. Right. And what kid today doesn't have a cell phone? Right. And then finally, though, they're able to convince the non-binary
friend that because they're about to take them all and lock them up. And on the way out the door, he's like, I can help you.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're like, I can help you. And the guy who's asking the questions, he's like, well, what can you tell me? And basically tells him that she does have a cell phone, and that she got it without her dad knowing. And right about this time, Willa is in the van with Deandra, and her phone starts ringing. And Deandra starts getting upset because Willa told her that she doesn't have a cell phone. So Deandra grabs the phone and throws it out the window, and it breaks on the ground on the street. And so they get Willa to this convent that is it's basically a safe place, a refuge for revolutionaries, for the resistance. Oh, I love when. So after Del Toro, after Bob gets the information on the phone, back to Bob and Sergio, and then they're getting up, and Sergio's leading him out, and he gives him a rifle. He gives him a rifle case, and sends him down the hall. He's like, all right, so follow this guy. He'll protect you. He'll get you where you need to go. And so Bob's running down the hall, and they're supposed to be going up this ladder to the roof. Before he goes up the ladder, he turns around. He's like, hey, Sergio, or Sensei. Thank you, Sensei. Oh, and you know what? I don't care. Viva la revolution!
Sergio has a little trap door under his rug. Yes. Right as he say this,
and Bob throws his hand up, and Sergio kind of puts his hand up, and then closes the trap door, and then this rug just unrolls over the door. I love that. It's just Benicio del Toro. Just the expression on his face.
Yes,
it's just perfect.
Yes. He's such a great actor.
Yeah, he is. Bob goes up the roof, and he's following. He's trying to follow these people. They're jumping. These people are in shape, And Bob has been sort of out of the game for a while. So he's not really as in shape as he used to be. So see, he's having a hard time keeping up. And finally he goes to jump between buildings and falls. And when he falls, one of Lockjaw's men are there to arrest him.
He's immediately arrested. And he's also fallen, so he's injured.
Mm-hmm. So he's taken to one of the camps. And he's being processed. And luckily, he had, when he was climbing up the ladder to get on the roof, the guy that he was supposed to be following took the gun. So he didn't have the gun when he fell. So it wasn't confiscated.
And they witnessed that he fell and got apprehended. And they call Sergio and tell him about it. Right? But yeah, he's at one of these camps. And he's being processed. All these things. He's also being treated for his wounds. Yeah. Right? You know.
So it seems like he's going to
get He didn't break any bones, thankfully.
No. But it seems like he's going to get locked up. And so he's taken to one of the doctors. Or one of the nurses there.
Yes,
and
the nurse.
He's taking to the nurse there, and she's doing the checkup on him, and they say, okay, now we're going to do, was it a vision test?
Something like that.
And she's like, no, maybe it wasn't a vision test, but like, we're going to do some test, and then she goes over to the bathroom and opens the bathroom door. It's like, here's your bathroom. Okay, you're going to go through the bathroom into the room on the other side, and you could down the hall and out, out this back door.
He's like, what? That's really detailed.
And so she turns her back and walks back toward the door, and he gets up, runs through the bathroom, through this other patient's room, and then out the back. And who's waiting for him there?
Sergio
is sitting there in a car, waiting at the end of an alley. He comes running up, gets in the car. Sergio hands him a beer.
They're going to have a fun road trip.
Sergio's got a 6-pack of Modelo. So they're driving. And while they're driving, Bob takes a swig of his beer right as they pass a cop. So so this cop comes after him, turns the sirens on, and Benicio del Toro he's trying to keep his distance, and he's like, okay, well, how are we gonna do this? He finishes off his beer, crumples up the can, he's like, put this in your backpack. And then Bob does the same thing. He finishes his beer, puts the empty can in his backpack. And then Sergio's like, all right, I'm going to pull up here. When I round this corner, I'll slow down. You're going to tuck and roll. He's like, but what about the cop? He's like, I'll take care of them. So he comes up around the corner. Bob, climbs out the window, and he's sitting on the door. And he's like, "You're not slowing down." He's starting to get cold feet. And so finally, he's not wanting to jump because the car's still going too fast. So Sergio kind of nudges him. He falls out. He goes rolling down.
He just rolls down
this little ditch.
This is where the absurdist part of it works really well.
Yeah,
it's funny.
And so Bob gets up and he runs over and he hides in this ditch as the cop passes. So while this has been happening, right? So like Charlene, like she gets taken to like the coordinates, and it's this old like mission church, and it's a bunch of like nuns that grow weed. Yeah.
And it's really weird. Like this again, like this.
Yeah.
Like this is a part like I don't know how well it works for me. Like it just seems like it's out of an edgy graphic novel.
Yeah.
And it pulls you out of it a little bit.
This part was kind of just out there. Like, there were parts of this movie that are just out there, but they work. This one doesn't really work as well as the others.
And these people do not like her mother.
No.
Because she was a traitor. She's a rat.
So they're worried that she's going to be a rat, too.
Right. But she's there, and she's training with a gun and, like, these things. She's hanging out there. Meanwhile, we get this, we go back with the Christmas Adventures Club. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of them's coming up. He comes to the house. It's this nice, big, like, huge McMansion type house, right?
Yeah. And walks into the kitchen. And he's greeted by this woman.
Yeah. And she is making, what is she baking? She's baking something.
She's like, well, can I get you something to eat? He's like, no, I'm okay. I'm not hungry. She's like, well, at least let me make you some pancakes for the road.
Oh, it's like,
pancakes. You talking about your special banana pancakes? Your famous banana pancakes? She's like, of course. So he doesn't give her an answer on if he wants her to make him some banana pancakes.
It's like, they're waiting for you in the basement. And so he goes down to the basement, and he opens like this secret door in the basement.
And then there's this big hallway that reminded me of the second and third Matrix movies. When they're in that hallway with all the doors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he walks a long time down this hallway to the door.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes in, and there's the other members of the Christmas Adventurers Club there. And they are concerned about Lockjaw. Because it's like, there is rumor that he had sex with a black lady and that they had a baby together.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that he has hired a bounty hunter that is Native American.
Yeah.
And this is just too much for them to handle.
This is too much for them to handle, for this white supremacist secret society to handle.
So they need to get to the bottom of this right away. Because, that this is the final test.
Yeah.
Right? They need to make sure he is pure.
Yeah.
To enter their society. And that's what they say, Hail St. Nick.
Yes, that's what Hail St. Nicholas. Hail St. Nick. Just, yeah. They say it in the same way.
Hail something else, but
they say it in the same way that, like, Nazis would say Hail Hitler. But it's like, Hail St. Nick.
Yes.
And then Indiana Jones pops in the door and he just punches them all.
Yeah.
He gives them his best Nazi punch.
That's what he does.
And
his best Nazi punch.
Kills them all with one punch.
Boom, 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 boom.
Kills them all with one punch after complaining about tapestries.
We have many tapestries.
But if you are a Scottish lord, I am Mickey Mouse.
And Walter's like, of course they're Nazis. They're nihilists.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He shows up, throws a bowling ball at one of them. But anyway, so
back to Bob and Sergio.
Well, Bob is now not with Sergio.
Bob, right, no, they're separated, yes.
But Bob is still close enough to this mission church that he can get there on foot. Or wait, no, he goes and hotwires a car. That's right. He hotwires a car.
That's what he does, yes.
And he drives the rest of the way on his own. Meanwhile, it cuts to Sergio, and he's being given a roadside sobriety test.
He's perfectly honest with these cops.
He's perfectly honest with them.
Except for what he threw out the window.
Yeah. He's like, they're like, have you had anything to drink today? Like, well, I had a few. A few what? A few small beers. Like, well, I'd really like to know what you threw out the door. Or you threw out. He's like, oh, what? Some trash. You threw trash out of your car. Like, yep. But
which is kind of true.
Yeah, I mean,
he bending the truth a little bit.
He did put his trash in Bob's backpack.
Yes. He didn't throw Bob out.
He kind of did. He kind of did. So anyway, Bob gets up to the church, the mission church, just after. So he gets there just after Lockjaw does.
Yes.
And so Lockjaw and his men go and they take control of this mission church. And Lockjaw gets a hold of Charlene, of Willa. And takes her down to this sort of the sanctuary area of this church. And pulls out this case. You know, he puts zip tie cuffs on her. And sits her down in this chair. She does a little
cheek swab of her, right?
Pulls out this case, and it turns out it's a little centrifuge and all this. And he does a cheek swab for her, then he does a cheek swab for him, puts him in the centrifuge, and lets it spin for a minute or so, and then stops it, and tests it. It turns out this is a DNA testing kit.
Yeah, he's like, if this is a straight line, well, he said, then you're dead.
Yeah, he's like, if this is a straight line, if this is not a straight line, then you're free to go.
That's right.
Won't bother you again. But if this is a straight line, then there's going to be a problem. And so he's sitting over there waiting for this thing to...
They start having a kind of a conversation. Well, she, not really a conversation, but like, it's like, did you murder your mom? Did you murder my mom? And all this, like no. Like, it's like, I fucking loved her. She was a warrior. But
then at one point, he's like, he tells her, I had a daughter once with this woman named Jungle Pussy. So I don't know. I don't think. I think what I read from that was from that scene from that statement.
Yes.
The way that I read it was he was just not using the correct name of the mother, just in case this DNA results were not, a straight line.
Yes. That's a good read. I like it.
Because there was no indication through any of that opening montage that there was anything with Jungle Pussy.
No. All we know is that
we did learn that she is since dead.
I was like, we do know she's since dead when they were kind of talking earlier with the Christmas Adventures Club, right? They're like, oh no, the pussy's dead.
Oh wait, no, that's right. It was the Christmas Adventures Club that said that, because in their little talk with that guy, there's like, he had a baby with this woman named Jungle Pussy. So he doesn't mention it, but they do.
That's right.
And that's what it was. That's the read that I got from that, was just that they had the wrong information on who the mother was.
They had the wrong information. What's funny about that scene too with the Adventure Club is that they are playing a really poor version of Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
Yes.
Anyway, so.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the conversation he's actually having with her is like this weird thing. Like, it's like this father-daughter like meetup, and like he's expressing like in this weird twisted way he loved Perfectly Better Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
As messed up as a person as he is.
Yeah.
But again, like, he calls her a warrior. Like, he loved her spirit.
Yeah, and she just asks him, why is your shirt so tight?
Which is a legitimate question, to be honest.
Yes, because he's in there. He's got this. He's wearing like a shirt from Baby Gap to like show off all his muscles.
He's Sean Penn. It's like, okay. So the DNA test comes up, and it is indeed a straight line.
Yes.
She is his daughter.
Yes.
Right. And so he's like, all right. And so he drags her out.
And he's going to kill her.
His plan. Yep.
But he can't do it himself. So he puts her in a car, in an SUV, and he's driving her back out to, well, as he's taking her out to the car, that's when Bob comes up, and he's sort of up behind a little bell tower. And
that's right.
He pulls the rifle out that Sergio gave him. And he starts shooting at Lockjaw as he's walking Charlene to the car. He misses him. Lockjaw gets in there, and then his men start shooting at Bob. Sort of pins him down. So, they drive off in the SUV. Bob gets back in the car that he stole, and he's trying to chase him down the road. But he's still quite a ways behind him. So he doesn't know exactly where they're going. But so Bob goes.
Well, has he given her over to
not yet
Avanti yet?
Not yet. That's where he's going now. So he's headed to Lockjaw is headed to Avanti in this valley, so that he can hand Willa off to him, to Avanti, so that Avanti can take her, because he wants to pay Avanti double his daily rate to kill her, because he can't kill her himself because she's his daughter. And Avanti refuses. Because he's just supposed to find the people. He's not supposed to kill them. And plus she's just a kid. He doesn't kill kids.
That's right.
So he refuses. So Lockjaw tells him, okay, tell you what, I'll pay you your daily rate if you just take her to these people, these associates of mine, and they'll do it.
Who end up being like a far-right militia.
Yeah. So Avanti reluctantly, agrees. And so Lockjaw takes Willa, Charlene, out of the SUV, kicking and screaming, puts her in the back of Avanti's Charger. Now, he's got a Dodge Charger with a cage in the back, so it very well could have been a former police car.
Could have been, yes.
And so Avanti takes off with her, and Lockjaw gets back into his SUV, and he goes back out on the highway, on this 2-lane highway. And Bob is coming up, and Avanti passes him. And Bob doesn't realize that that's the car he's supposed to be chasing.
Nope, he doesn't.
But he comes up, and he sees on this, a little bit farther up the road, he sees, around this curve, sees the SUV, Lockjaw's SUV. So he guns it, and he's trying to catch up to him.
And back in the Charger, she's just trying. She, again, like you said, looks like, they got the cage in the back, looks like a former cop.
Mm-hmm. So she's
maybe a former cop car. She's trying to kick
in the seats.
She can't do anything, right?
Yeah, she's trying to get out. She's trying to do everything she can to fight back. But she can't do anything because she's locked in the back. And so then this blue Mustang comes driving down the road.
Shows up. Yep. And there's this sequence of these cars following each other over these little hills,
and
desert.
The camera is just following the hills.
It's filmed really well.
I love how they filmed this part right here. How it's just showing these, because there's just these hills, just up, down, up, down, up, down, like a wave pattern, right? And it's just the camera is mounted on the front of the car, so you just see it's just going down the hill, up the hill, down the hill, up the hill. It's really well done.
Yeah.
This sequence.
It is.
But so this blue Mustang comes up behind Lockjaw, behind the SUV, and sort of pulls out into the left lane, into the oncoming traffic lane, but there's no oncoming traffic. He pulls up next to him and motions to him to roll down the window. And Lockjaw's like, oh, what the hell's going on here? Rolls down the window. And as soon as he does, this guy, who was the guy that was visiting with the Christmas Adventurers Club earlier, We find out why he was visiting with them. They sent him to kill Lockjaw. So as soon as Lockjaw opens the window, the guy pulls out a sawed-off shotgun and shoots him in the head.
This is John Hugenacker, by the way. Tim Smith is the character's name.
Yeah. So shoots Lockjaw right in the cheek. And, he goes, the SUV swerves off the road and tumbles down a hill.
He obviously crashes.
And then Tim Smith gets out of the car and he walks down to make sure that Lockjaw's dead. And as he's coming back up, he gets back in his car and turns around and races back the way he came. And once again, Bob passes him.
It's like, And I was like, that's interesting.
And then he comes up on the crashed SUV.
Yep.
And he starts freaking out because now it looks like Lockjaw's dead and he didn't get to question him and get his daughter back. And,
But what we don't realize is that back at the far right militia, like, we've had a change of heart. Like, we can't even give her over to them.
So he does. So he takes her over there. So Avanti gets her out of the car, takes her over. The militia puts handcuffs on her, and they sit her down on this bench. And he goes up, and Avanti walks up. There's one of the guys is outside, and they're sitting at this little picnic table. And so Avanti goes and puts the keys down right there, right next to him, and walks back to his car. And as he gets back to the car, you can tell he's wrestling with what he's doing. He gets back to the car, reaches in there, pulls out his shotgun, walks back over, grabs the keys off the table, and goes over and uncuffs Charlene, uncuffs Willa.
Yep.
And the guy that was sitting at the table, he's like, What are you doing? And then Avanti just shoots the guy. Shoots him with the shotgun, kills him. Gives Willa the keys, so tells her to go to the car. And gives her a gun also, gives her his gun. Or the guy from the table.
Yeah.
That guy's gun.
Give a handgun.
And sends her to the car with the keys. And he turns around and starts shooting into the doorway. Because, these guys are now shooting back at him. And they, have a little shootout. And she goes back to the car, gets in it, drives. And so at this point, Bob realizes that blue Mustang has something to do with Lockjaw's death. So he starts following the Mustang. And then, so I guess, what was it? Did Bob go back? Did he get back to where they took Willa? Where Avanti was? Or was that the other guy? Was that Tim?
It was Tim.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah, so Tim went back there and, found everybody dead and realized that Willa had taken the car. And so then he goes to chase her. And so he's chasing Willa, Charlene, and Bob is chasing him. But Bob's still quite a ways back. So Willa quickly realizes that she's being chased by this blue Mustang.
Yep.
And so she's driving up and she comes up to this point over this hill. And again, it's showing, the camera right on the hills.
It's doing the same thing. Yes.
And, she gets, past this hill and just slams on her brakes, throws the car in park in the middle of the road and runs over to this ditch behind this rock.
She's going to use kind of this to the advantage.
And she pulls that pistol out that Avanti gave her. And so the Mustang, Tim comes driving up in the Mustang. He's still going fast. And he comes over this hill and sees the stopped Charger right in front of him. But there's not enough time to stop. Slams into the back of this Charger. And so he's rocked. And he stumbles out of the car.
Yeah.
And she yells out this code. She yells out these code words. And he's like, what? And she just shoots him.
He's like, what? It's kind of, when she comes out, she's kind of coming out, there's a shot of her like in the poster, kind of in the stance. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, she says it again, and he's still like, what?
And when he's not giving
and then
the response,
she just shoots him because he doesn't know.
So he's laying there dead in the middle of the road.
And he's a threat. So like she doesn't hesitate at all.
No.
You kind of see her mother's blood in her in this sequence right here.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure Bob, trained her in that too. That
I'm sure. Yes, obviously.
And so she runs back behind that rock where she was in the ditch, and she's waiting because she hears Bob's car coming up. So she's sitting there, she's waiting there, and Bob comes up. He sees everything going on, but he's able to, stop his car, get out of the way and stop his car.
He gets out, and he's got that shotgun.
Yeah, he's got that rifle.
You've seen kind of this shot of him with the rifle. And he's just kind of holding it, and his hair is blowing. Because, he's got, he's hippie looking.
And so he's walking
she's kind of shouting out this guy too to make sure.
Yeah, he's wondering who this dead guy is on the road.
He hasn't seen this guy before,
and he still holding his rifle. With the
Christmas Adventures Club,
and he hears Willa yell out the code, and so he automatically just throws the rifle down and raises his hands, and he calls out to her. He doesn't call her. He doesn't say the right code phrase in response.
The right phrase, but
he tells her, it's me, it's your dad, it's I'm here to get you, I'm here to save you, and she's got tunnel vision at this point. She's not paying attention to who she's pointing the gun at. So
she's never done anything like this before.
I fully expected her to shoot him. I fully expected her to shoot him and then realize who she just shot. But thankfully, she realizes who it is that's calling out to her, and she puts the gun down and comes out and just runs into his arms.
Father-daughter reunited.
And so they, go back home or go back somewhere.
And after they leave, we stay on this highway in the desert. And there's someone that's not dead yet.
Yeah, we see Sean Penn walking through the desert with a bloody face.
Yeah, his face is all bloody, and he's walking tall and erect.
Just like he was at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a tent. It was a small tent. Does Sean Penn have Terry O'Quinn's size?
I don't know, and I really don't want to find out. Now, I mean, maybe one of these days we'll talk about the stepfather. The original one, not the remake. The one with Terry O'Quinn.
Not the remake at all. But so they've driven off, and Lockjaw's alive. We see that, right? And then we cut back to Lockjaw, and Lockjaw's recovered from his injuries, but he looks like Mel Gibson, the man without a face.
Yeah, only not really burned. I mean, he seems to have a burn on his arm, but his face has been reconstructed. He's got a hair lip now and a glass eye, and he's sitting in this waiting room.
Yeah,
in this office building, and he is
greeted by these two guys.
Yeah, these two professional-looking guys.
They're other members of the Christmas Adventurers Club.
And one of them comes out and says, "Congratulations, you have been accepted into the Christmas Adventurers Club."
And he's excited. He is about to cry. This is how big of a deal it is to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to say.
Yeah. So, he stands up and he's following them through here, and they're
he's like,
describing
this
building.
New office.
Let me show you this new office. We got this facility is fully stocked. It's got a gym. It's got all this that's open to you.
Company that has offices.
Yeah, it's like it's I don't know, but yeah, he's like this facility. It's got gym. It's got all this stuff in it that it's open to you anytime, day or night. And he's like, oh, that sounds wonderful. And, they get to his office. It's this corner office. And they walk him in there, and he's standing there looking out the
window.
Beautiful
view of downtown, like downtown Los Angeles, right?
And he's looking out the window, and
the
guy starts fumbling around in his pockets.
Taken aback by it.
Yeah.
And this other guy, he's like patting his like he's looking for keys.
He's like, silly me, I forgot your keys. Wait right here, I'll go get them. He goes, yeah, sure. And so
they leave, and they close the door behind them as they leave. And he's just looking out.
He's looking out.
Like, and he sees they have this nice office chair.
Yeah. So he sees there's this big wooden desk with this nice office chair behind it. So he goes and he sits down on this chair, and he leans back, puts his feet up on the desk, and he's just relaxing, just loving his new office, loving that he's now part of the Christmas Adventurers Club. He's officially a Christmas adventurer. And then the camera zooms in on the vent in the ceiling, and we hear this hiss. It sounds like something is being pumped in through the vents. And then Lockjaw gets very still.
And his jaw locks.
Mm-hmm.
With a smile on his face.
Yes, with a smile on his face. And then
these two guys are like in hazmat. Two guys
come in there in hazmat suits. They open up the door. They walk in, wheel him out on the office chair, wheel him down the hall, and there's a trash chute. They put him in the trash chute, and he goes down. And then it turns out that trash chute leads to a furnace. And we just get this shot of him sitting there still with that grin on his face.
He's got the grin.
Just burning in this furnace.
So, could a simple no have sufficed? Like,
a simple no could have sufficed.
But no, instead they murder him.
Yeah. I mean, they have to keep their society secret.
He knows about the club because he didn't get in the club. Is that you don't get into this club, they murder you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they can't have him going around telling people about this secret society. The first rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club.
You know it's a secret society, and if you get in, you live. If you don't, you die.
Yeah.
In that furnace, it bakes the pancakes.
The banana pancakes.
So, anyway.
Then we cut back to Bob and Willa, and they're
back at home.
They're back at home. They're enjoying their time together. Grateful that they were able to reunite and all that.
They lived.
So I guess the question now is, did Willa tell Bob about Lockjaw, about the DNA test?
I would say no. But
see, I would think maybe no, but at the same time, it wouldn't affect the way that Bob parented her and sees her. Yeah. It wouldn't affect the way that he loves her. Because she's his daughter. Whether biologically or not, she is his daughter.
Yeah, right. He raised her. They have a bond. He cares about her. She cares about him. They have that relationship. Like he helped raise her to be who she is.
So I would think that maybe she wouldn't tell him right away.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime down the line. Maybe she would let him know what was up.
But he does have something important for her, though. A letter.
Yes, he has a letter from her mother. And because it's her birthday.
That's right. Yes, it's her birthday.
It's her birthday. And so he gives her this letter from her mother. And so she goes to start to open it up to read it. And he's like, well, don't you want to read that alone? Don't you want a little bit of privacy while you read that? And so, she gets up and goes into her bedroom. And she's reading it. And then we get Teyana Taylor's voice, on this letter.
It kind of explains that finally kind of get her inner thoughts. Right? Because you kind of observed her at this distance and saw everything that happened. We can actually kind of see her point of view finally.
Yeah.
But it's a letter that is she's touched by it, right?
Yeah.
And
As if it
helps
were an
kind
angel.
of give her a little bit of closure with her mom, right?
Yeah.
And everything that's just happened. And help kind of even give her more of her own identity.
Yep. Yep. And then Della Reese shows up.
When you walk.
Starts singing, when you walk down the road.
No Della Reese, no John Dye, no Roma Downey.
No, they don't show up.
But there's a police scanner. They have a police scanner, right? And they're talking about this protest going on up in Oakland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now, she has found found her voice, calling.
So she decides she wants to go, and Bob tries to stop her. She's like, he's like, it's Oakland. It's so far away. She's like, it's just a couple hours. She's like, trust me. And then he's like, okay. He gives her the keys, and she runs out to the car.
He's like, be careful.
Yeah. He's like, be careful. And yeah. And so she goes out of the car and drives off, and then
he's like, I won't.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's like, be careful. She's like, I won't.
And then Tom Petty's American Girl plays on. And I'm sorry, I still can't hear that song in the movie and not think about Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Like, I get the sentiment of using it here, but I hear it and I had to think Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's the right song to end this movie on.
I don't either. I mean, it does fit, but I think there would have been much better song choices.
It fits, but there's probably other songs that could give that sentiment that would work too.
Yeah.
But that's how it ends, which is, it's fine. Yeah, like I kind of like how it ends with the two of them reunited.
Yeah. Yeah. Then the title pops up, one battle after another pops up, and the credits roll.
The relationship's probably just even stronger than it was before, right? Which is fine. So
they have a better understanding of each other now.
Yeah, right. It's a nice ending overall. It's, again, a good movie.
Yeah.
I just, I'm not going to call it great. And I think we explained it well enough, and I think we showed the stuff we liked a lot.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. So
yeah, it's definitely worth watching.
It is,
especially if you're trying to go through all the Best Picture winners and all that.
It is.
It's definitely worth watching.
And you will. I've watched. You said I've seen every Best Picture. There's still probably only about 3 or 4 I haven't seen. There are definitely worse Best Picture winners in this movie.
Yeah,
there are better ones, and the ones right around the same level. And again, it's still a good movie.
Yeah.
And you might like it more, and you might not like it at all.
Any scene with Benicio del Toro was great.
None of that. That's fine.
Yeah, any scene with Benicio del Toro was great.
Yeah, he was the highlight. Like, I would watch a movie that's a sequel where it's just Benicio del Toro, it's just Sergio and Bob.
Yes.
Just having wacky adventures, drinking Modelo's.
I want to see the prequel to this movie with Sergio and Bob, and like how they met.
I would just watch this. I'll watch the prequel, and I would watch the sequel where they're just sitting on a back porch, just drinking Modelo and talking.
Yeah,
it's 90 minutes. It's lunch with Sergio and Bob.
Yes. My dinner with Sergio.
Yes, my dinner with Sergio. And what gets crazy about this movie is that halfway through, a graboid shows up, and all of a sudden,
Michael Gross shows up.
It becomes a Tremors sequel.
A graboid shows up, it pops out of the ground and then explodes, and Michael Gross is standing behind it.
Yeah. There you go.
Burt Gummer is standing behind it.
And I would firmly believe that the three of them could tackle a graboid, but the three of them.
Oh, yeah.
So, there we go. Well, anyway, that's one battle after another.
That's one battle after another. So, yeah. Yeah, I think we said just about everything that
I think we did.
I wanted to say about it. So, as always, if you enjoy what you're hearing, go ahead and check us out on Facebook and Instagram and Threads. You're at Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. The and is spelled out. A&D. It's not an ampersand like the name of the podcast. We're also on X or Twitter. That's R&T Cinematic. And you can also check out our letterbox so you can see the movies that we've done some reviews on. Some we've done on the podcast, some we haven't done, some we will do, some we won't do. But yeah, check that out. That is Cine Adventure or Cine Adventure, C-I-N-E Adventure. And then you can also send us an email at robandtonycinematicadventure@gmail.com. Once again, the and is spelled out. A&D. It's not an ampersand like the name of the podcast. But yeah, what did you think of One Battle After Another? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you kind of in the middle like we are?
Like us. Yeah.
You know, do you have some thoughts on, to try to convince us about how great this movie is? Try to sway us one way or the other,
That's right.
We want to hear from you.
We do.
So, yeah, send us an email, or you can check us out on our social media. Give us a like and a follow. Comment on our stuff. Go to your favorite podcast app. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a good rating, a good review. That's how we move up in the rankings and the search and the recommendations, all that stuff. Yeah, we just want to be able to find more people that like listening to us ramble about these movies. Because we know that there are people out there that love movies as much as we do. And we want to connect with you guys. We want to connect with you all. So, next time, we're
back to another tribute.
We're back to another tribute. We've been doing way too many of these. People need to stop dying.
Please stop dying.
Please. Especially, we've had some huge hits lately. We've had some huge deaths lately. And this one is quite possibly the biggest.
Yeah, this came out of nowhere.
The great Chuck Norris has just passed away.
He has.
And yeah. 10 days after his 86th birthday.
Yeah, 86.
Yeah.
Dude looked like he was 50.
I know. And he had just climbed a 10,000-foot volcano.
Seriously. Anyway, we should pay proper tribute to Chuck Norris.
So we are going to do a tribute episode, but really, we all know all the Chuck Norris jokes and all that, right? Well, those are all funny and everything, but they are also true to a certain extent, to where Chuck Norris was too big for just one movie, one tribute movie.
He was.
One tribute episode.
Exactly.
So we are going to be doing a little Chuck Norris miniseries as a tribute to him. The first movie of which is the one that we're going to be doing next week, and then we'll be doing the next one after that. But the first movie we're doing, the one that will be for next week's episode, is we're going to talk about Lone Wolf McQuade.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun movie to watch.
It'll be fun.
It'll be a fun movie to talk about.
It's got David Carradine in it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the reasoning for, discussing that movie is not fun.
No, it's not.
It'll be a fun movie to watch really and talk about. And it'll be, and we can pay tribute to the late, great Chuck Norris.
Again, I think we've been more than happy at some point to be able to do a Chuck Norris movie. And unfortunately, this is the catalyst.
Yeah.
But, it's good that we should do multiple.
Yes.
To celebrate him.
Yes.
Because he was that amazing.
Yes, absolutely. So, all that said, join us next time for Lone Wolf McQuaid.